Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield. All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X another day. You are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. So we're going to start separating out our segments that we have into their own drops each week, bite-sized chunks of actionable strategies for y'all to take in. So we're going to start having 2 full episodes a week. We're going to continue the Monday and Thursday schedule, but we're going to be dropping these wellness upgrade segments and the communities grow together segments separately. So I am excited to bring you more actionable strategies each and every week. We're going to bring in professionals from all across the health and wellness space for these segments, and I'm just really excited because you guys know that health and wellness is one of my passions and one thing that I am very, very serious about for my own personal life. So the Wellness Upgrade is brought to you by Shudokan Karate Club of Springfield. Over 50 years of guiding students down the martial arts path. You want confidence, discipline, self-defense, and community? A visit ShudokanKarateSpringfield.com. So today, you've heard from her before, Kyleigh Melvin from the Primitive Prairie, right after the break.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Kyleigh.
And we are back. Another edition of the Wellness Upgrade. Joining me again is Kyleigh Melvin from the Primitive Prairie. Kyleigh, good to have you back. And how we doing today?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Ready to talk all things holistic health and wellness again?
Always.
You know I love this stuff, and I know you do too.
Yep.
So last time we talked about just kind of overview of what you do and
Yes.
what that all is. But so today, let's dig deep into teas and tinctures.
right.
Kind of, you know, you
Those
sell
are
a lot
the-
of that stuff and
Yes.
make a lot of that stuff. So let's talk teas and tinctures.
Yes. Okay. So a lot of people come up to me and they are just like my husband's always like, nobody knows what a tincture is. And I just get so used to saying it. People come up and be like, a tonic, an elixir. What
Right.
is this?
No, I'm the same way. I mean, Courtney
Yep.
and I, Courtney's my wife, we've been using them for a long time. And so we just assume, hey,
You
tinctures.
do.
Yeah, it's just a tincture.
It's so ingrained in you that you assume everybody knows, and they do not. So what I do is I make herbal tinctures. So those have an alcohol base. Some people use apple cider vinegar. The issue with that is the shelf life is severely cut. When you're only using like a dropper as needed, that's going to go bad before you use it all.
Mhm.
So what tinctures are that they are just herbs that are extracted in a high proof alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, I was reading all these books on it, and people were using vodka, or Everclear is a popular one. That is disgusting.
Yes,
So
it is.
I do spend extra money and I get a high-end gin because I'm like, I don't drink, but so I struggled with the smell of any of them really.
Right,
But
right.
gin at least smelled kind of like floral, and I was like, this is kind of nice. And it had a high enough proof that I needed to properly extract the herbs.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you will put your herbs in the alcohol, and there's 2 methods. There's the folk method, which, in the 1700s, 1600s they were using, where you just want to make sure your herbs are covered with the alcohol. And then you just shake it daily. And then I use more of the exact ratio, weight to volume method.
Uh-huh.
And that's when you're doing clinical work. You want to make sure people can expect the same strength every time. So you weigh your herbs, you weigh your alcohol. You'll use a stronger ratio if you're using roots than if you were using leaves or flower. So there is some science to it.
And that part's important too, because like last time we were talking about some people still thinking kind of the woo-woo aspect of that. But so having a consistently made product probably goes a long way to combating some of that.
Yeah, and I like double, sometimes triple filter it. So there is a lot of work put into it, a lot of care. So I'll try to maybe break down a simple tincture and talk about why it works like that. So a tincture is something that's wonderful for people that do not like to drink tea. Because some people are like, first of all, like some teas don't taste that great, especially herbal teas.
Right.
So some people don't want to take the time to drink a tea, don't enjoy drinking tea. And so a tincture is just a really good option for them. You just put a couple drops, shake the bottle, put a couple drops in your morning coffee, just in a little bit of juice in the morning. You take it like a shot, whatever.
Right.
I will usually put it in my last sip of coffee in the morning. And that's it. It's just done. So another time you'd want to use tinctures is some herbs taste awful. A tincture's not going to taste good anyway. It's like, ashwagandha is a popular herb right now.
Yeah, big time.
For mental health. That's one that I would prefer to take in a tincture. I do make it in a tea and I make it in a chai tea because I'm like, that way you kind of mask the flavor, but it is awful. It is one of the worst tasting things ever. So it's
but the benefits outweigh the awfulness.
Yes. So that's usually in a tincture form. And then on the other end of things, try to be always honest with people, especially when I'm at markets. People say I have allergies. I have an allergy tincture. I have an allergy tea. I always will tell people if you absolutely don't like drinking tea, the tincture is wonderful. You will still get the effects of the nettle, which is the main ingredient in both of those, the tea and the tincture. However, nettle, for instance, actually extracts more of its minerals in water. So it actually is better as a tea.
Okay.
So I will usually point people that direction. And then my husband, he drinks the allergy tea every morning. But when he's in a hurry, he always just runs for the tincture. It still works for him. It's just, for me, it's more beneficial as a tea. So that's a good time to choose that. So like a basic tincture example is I made a memory tincture and I studied the herbs forever. So I studied them so deeply that I actually found other uses for them, that I found this memory tincture I made is actually wonderful for ADHD or brain fog. The main ingredient in that is an herb called gochu kola.
Okay.
And it is kind of an old wives' tale, but it is said that they always say elephants have a great memory. And it is said that because elephants mainly eat that plant is why they have it.
That's where that came from?
That's what they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I never knew that.
But that's a really safe herb, and that's the majority of that tincture. And it's cool because I paired it with ginkgo. So ginkgo takes months to get into your system to start helping your memory, potentially. But with the gochu kola, it actually happens very quickly. So like I had a friend just take that tincture last week, and she's like, "Whoa!" She's like I instantly felt like I could focus, and that's a safe plant because, like I said, not only do elephants eat it, but I believe it's in India. It is basically like their salad green over there.
Oh,
so it's a safe one too. But that's an easy one that I would rather than drink it as a tea. I'd rather take it as a tincture. And I love tea, but I would rather just take it quickly as a tincture, get it over with.
Sure.
And so that's comparing the two. The herbal teas, I always try to put some good flavor in there. People I don't think expect herbal teas to taste good, but I'll throw some
have a little,
some cinnamon, some of them I give like a floral base, but I try to do what I can. Some herbs just do not taste good,
right?
Or they have strong taste.
Right.
Yeah, but I try. So those are the two options for folks that are either in a hurry or they don't like the taste of tea. They can go with a tincture, and it's just like I said. I usually have the dosage on it, but it's like 1 to 3 drops. Some of them I'll say take a couple times a day. The allergy one you could take a couple times a day. I always try to tell people it's a super safe tincture, like my allergy one is. And think I have 1 to 2 dropperfuls. I think my husband does 5.
Right,
So,
right. It works though. He says that's the thing that works the best for him.
He's like, it changed my life. But
Right.
he had a lot of issues with dry eyes though and stuff. So that's how that tea came to be, is I put demulcent herbs in there that'll help with moisture and bring moisture back at the same time. So everything that's dry and itchy when you have, allergies.
Yeah.
And so that set him. He's sold.
Nice. And get that on video. Get that testimonial. Changed my life.
Pretend he's not my husband.
That's
Just
right.
be like, listen.
Hey, husband or no husband, if it changed his life, it changed his life.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's what we always tell. And he goes, and I'm not one of those hippie people. I'm like, we know, we can see.
Right. Yep. So, I mean, you said that the tinctures are made with alcohol.
Yes.
So just so people are clear on that, it's not like you're taking a bunch of alcohol and getting drunk off of a tincture.
I do
right?
tell people, I'm like, if this is not for you, I prefer the 3 to 4 year shelf life. But I prefer that because, like I said, the memory ones, sometimes I just don't sleep well. And I'm like, that's going to kind of help me focus today. I don't take it not enough to use it quickly.
Right.
And it's just a couple dropper. I mean, we're talking a tiny amount because it's not even a full dropper. So it's really not enough to, like I said, not using Everclear like some people do. So it's not that bad. But yeah, it's a tiny amount. It is hard when people are like hovering and they don't want to be around that. But I always say there are people out there that use other things instead. I just want to go with what's the strongest and what I feel like will give the best product. So
no doubt about it.
Finding that middle ground, but yeah.
Yeah, because every now and again when people are asked about a tincture I'm using or something like that, is there alcohol in that? Yeah, I mean it's like a tiny little bit. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I use a couple this morning. I feel like I'm doing okay.
Right, yeah. Not stumbling around or anything.
All right.
Yeah, just sometimes people say that when I say there's alcohol, and it's like, well, that's what it's made with. That's
there's
how you do it.
alcohol in your vanilla.
Yeah, that's
extract,
actually. Yeah,
because I remember I had that issue when I was trying to get my cottage food license. I was like, they were really weary about the alcohol, and I'm like, but do you let people sell vanilla extract? I was like, 'cause it's the same. It really is.
All
the
those
same
extracts
thing.
have that in there.
Yeah,
right?
it is the same thing. It's very similar method. So I'm like, so I would look at it that way. It's like vanilla extract.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of your most popular, you sell a lot of different tinctures and teas. What are some of your most popular tinctures and teas?
Okay. Good Vibrations is hands down one of my most popular tinctures that has the ashwagandha. So sometimes when you have an herb that's gained popularity, people are looking for it everywhere. It has skullcap, which is another nervine. So it helps with stress. As passion flower, that's a milder nervine. So that one people just love. First of all, it's safe to take with antidepressants. So skullcap is one of those. On another episode, we talked about herbs that have been studied with antidepressants. Skullcap has. They have found there to be no interaction. So that's one. Whereas St. John's wort you should not take if you're on antidepressants. So that's a really safe one. The St. John's wort, I make that as a tincture. It is another very popular one because people want to get off antidepressants. Let's see. The memory one has, I think it's the fact that I did start, the more research I did, I started promoting it as an ADHD, and that has taken off just because so much feedback about people saying I can focus now, and it's like, even if you don't feel like you have an issue with tension, we all experience days with brain fog. So people were like, but a lot with people that have elderly parents with dementia, they've been grabbing that for them as well. Those would be my most popular tinctures. And then with my teas, I don't know if this is because I recommend it, but because I do, like sometimes I'll see people looking at it like, what is this? And I'll say, oh, that's my favorite. And then they'll grab, but Peaceful Easy Feeling is one of my top sellers, and that is my favorite. And that's because it has some herbs for decompressing. They're not full-blown nervines, so they're not going to like make you super chill, but they're just relaxing herbs. But then it has stinging nettle and some herbs for inflammation. So just if you're just feeling like kind of wake up, maybe didn't sleep the greatest, it is just an uplifting, full of vitamin and mineral, just good tea. Yeah. And I think it tastes good because I put hibiscus in it. I like hibiscus. And then another one that sells out all of the time, besides my allergy, because my husband's just tells that one
salesman around for that one.
I sell out of a lot. I think all of my neighbors are taking. We just dropped off 2 to my neighbor last night, actually. So, but that's a good one too. But the other one is I have women blends for every stage, whether you're conceiving, breastfeeding. your perimenopausal, menopausal, every stage of life. And my Earth Mama is for women of all stages, but it really focuses on women that are starting to have hair thinning because it has horsetail in it for that. And then it has red clover for hormonal health. It's kind of all stages, but it focuses on women mainly like 40 and up. That one I always sell out of too at events. Yeah, so that's a good one.
Cool. You said a term a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that everybody knows what it is.
Good.
You said nervine.
Yeah, call me out on
What is
that. So a nervine is going to actually, so like I said, there's milder herbs like passion flower. Some might call that a nervine. I feel like it's not that strong. But then you have skullcap. Now, skullcap I will call a nervine because it actually does affect your nervous. It actually does make changes. It will make you very chill. It affects people differently. My husband can take that and just feel like laid back. Some people can take that and feel like really laid back. Yeah, like they're like almost like some people are like, that's too chill. Where I have a friend that takes it at nighttime because it does chill her out. And then some people are like, no, that just makes me feel good all day. Like I just feel less stressed. So nervines,
like a high chill or
I don't think so. I just feel like it makes you very laid back. Maybe that is. I'm like, I don't feel like it's that strong, but it does. Those are the relaxing herbs that are going to actually be making changes. And that's why there's been studies on like skullcap with antidepressants because they both are going to do that. But skullcap wasn't strong enough like St. John's wort to actually be found to affect your antidepressants if you're on some. So that's kind of the difference there. Hopefully that made sense. I'm glad you called me out on that.
That's because I figured that's what it was, but I figured if I was second guessing myself, then the audience probably was too.
Nervine, nervous system. That's a good way to remember.
That's what I guessed, but
I'm glad you said that though, because I will say that too. I probably said that at last night's event like 20 times because people would like pick something up and be like, what is this? I'm like, well, it has a nervine. They're probably like
what? Okay.
What does that mean?
Sounds good, I guess.
Sounds important, I guess.
That's right. That's an added value. There you go, right?
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Well, if somebody wants to buy some of your tinctures or teas, where do they go?
Theprimitiveprairie.com. And then I always try to do educational videos on social media at The Primitive Prairie on Facebook or Instagrams.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to getting deeper into this each and every time, Kyleigh.
All right.
So, all right, we're going to let Kyleigh get back to elevating Springfield. For the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. Custom Property Solutions transforms land and outdoor spaces throughout Central Illinois with precision and passion. From clearing overgrown brush to crafting stunning patios and fire pits. Need expert lawn care, excavation, or fence row clearing? They've got you covered, safely, efficiently, and on budget. Fully insured and satisfaction guaranteed. Visit CustomPropertySolutionsLLC.com today, where your land meets their passion. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody, on the Wellness Upgrade. I hope you enjoy these quick hits of actionable strategies. Thank you to Kylie Melvin for stopping by. Check her out at the Primitive Prairie. So much great stuff. We use quite a bit of their products. Definitely recommend. So, hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at SangamonTreeService.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.